So let me tell you something you have to understand. For you to make global dominance and strategically position yourself, you need to rewrite the story. Because see, slave trade is going on all over again, and slave trade is going on in business. Nigeria ideas are shipped overseas because of dollar and venture capitalists, and these companies are taking over, and they're sold back to Nigeria with a foreign inclination. So let me tell you something. Slave trade is not about putting chains and shackles in your hand. Slave trade is about having the upper hand in business. So the truth of the matter is things are changing. But these other people are still having the upper hand. So how do we make global dominance? Number one, by understanding there are no dime times in businesses. You need to build it from here. You need to start it from here. You need to equip yourself with the capacity to run it from here. You need to have the financial discipline to run it. The Economist Intelligence team made a research recently, and they said, what bedevils businesses in Nigeria is a lack of financial intelligence. The first thing a young Nigerian entrepreneur does once he makes money is what? Spend. That's it. So the next step of building global dominance is make the money stay here and bring their money here. You got to make the money stay here and bring what? Their money here. But how do you make the product here and let it be something that will resonate with people from every part of the world? Have you ever asked yourself that question? How do you do it that you will make a product here in Yanopaja and somebody in Oklahoma will want to buy it or Iowa will want to buy it? How do you do it? The power of imagination and innovation comes to play. So what do you imagine? And what do you do to innovate? There's a general consensus in business these days that if you do not innovate, you do what? You die. So what do you imagine and how do you innovate? Innovation and indigenization. The first core of this is we need to run businesses that reflect who we are as a people. And tell you what, if you can reflect who you are as a person, the world will take you. Because the world wants something that is original. The world stands for something that is original. But not just original because of its original with quality. So, in making global dominance a possibility, what is that indigenous product you have that you can package with a lot of quality and take it abroad? Can you write that product down? Can you write that product down? Think of it in your head very strongly and write the product down. One indigenous product you can take to the world. Package it up, take to the world. Write it down. If you've written that down, I will check how smart you guys are. After this class, I will see who will come and network and sell the idea to me. Thank you.
We're going to be looking at technology from three perspectives. The first perspective is internal operations. So in the hypothetical scenario where you've set up your business, you're going to have to run that business, okay? So think about things like human resources, payroll, getting money in, managing your profit and loss statements, doing your accounting, things like that. That's basically what falls within internal operations. Internal operations. The second perspective is customer and vendor management. So everything outside of your company, every interaction that you have to do with customers, partners, vendors, suppliers, that's the second perspective. And then the third and final perspective, if I recall correctly, is what we have called glocal. So that's going to be your growth strategy. How do you get your company from being a local company based out of Nigeria to become a global player? So how do you reach customers, partners, and vendors outside of Nigeria? So we call that glocal, so globally local, okay? Those are the three perspectives. Does everybody understand that? Now, the way we're going to run this, because there's three of us here, I'm going to be handling internal operations, right? Ade is going to be handling glocal, and Okwem is going to be handling your customer strategy, so everything external. We're going to take the 6 groups, but we're going to hear from you first. So whoever you've nominated as your team leaders gets the chance to come up and pitch your idea.
Our business idea is about an app that can help a passerby save life. For example, in the case of an emergency, most times people have their phones on and they get to take videos of really what is happening and send it down to social media first. And people get to rant about it, then somehow by the special intervention of God, the law enforcement agency gets to know. So that lag time can actually be reduced to save lives. So basically, our app is very, very simple. The user has the app on his phone. It's synced with the 911 emergency option on the phone. So the user opens it up when there's an emergency. Then at the click of a button, he gets to connect to the 4 major sources of hazard.
I want to talk to you about an app idea. This app idea is, the name of my team is Team Ace, but we prefer to be called or regarded as our business name, which is Cakes and Bikes. Cakes and Bikes is, the N is EN and is Spanish for on, so Cakes on Bikes. This can be seen as a literal meaning of our business, in the sense that we have bikes that take cakes to people around Lagos. How does this work? There are 3 problems, and I'll give you 3 solutions to those problems. The first problem is convenience. Working class people, I'm sure it's very hard for you to go and get cakes for your children or your friends. You have to go to the cake, you have to go to the bakery, ask for the cake, design it, and then still come back to get the cake. The solution to that problem is that we will give you a list of bakeries around Lagos State that will deliver this cake to you according to your preference.
And we have a product known as everyday food. You know, as working class people, I'm sure you have an 8 to 4 every day, basically. So when you get home, you're tired and you're like, what am I going to cook? But we have this idea called everyday food, which is going to bring the markets to you. The markets in terms of like where you get tomatoes, where you get like fruit. We're going to have an online platform where you can order the fruit to your doorstep and you get in a record time, 3 hours maximum. And apart from this, we're aiming to even go further to supply restaurants, supply catering companies, supply hotels that need mass production of food, because they will need this to cook that food. And it's a really wonderful idea because it empowers small enterprises, basically the farmers. It empowers the market women, the market men, to have a bigger market because they have a bigger platform to showcase what they're good.
Group, and we're here to present to you Lucy. Lucy is a computer app. And it's like for education. It's meant to help your education. So Lucy is an app that speaks to you. You can ask Lucy a question and she would respond you like the answer, or just give you like a bunch of clips or messages relating to the answer. For example, if you ask Lucy what is a cell, Lucy could present to you a video posted by someone on that app explaining a cell, or like telling you more about a cell, or just a bunch of like articles. The thing that makes Lucy different from other search engines is that Lucy does not present to you every single information, the 1 million results that you get on Google. Lucy will just break it down to the ones that are like basically very important to that kind of question you're asking. You can ask Google what a cell is and they will give you things that are like out of this world, like relating away from biology. But you have to specify to Lucy because Lucy doesn't know everything. So you have to make sure she gets that you're talking about biology. Okay, when you want to talk about how we're going to make money from Lucy, it's quite simple. When we first produce the app, it's going to be free for the first 4 to 6 months. And then we're going to be doing like in-app purchases. Like if you want to get something from Lucy, you're going to have to pay for it sometimes. Well, definitely it's not going to be as expensive as paying for a lesson teacher, or the fact that you're going to have to repeat a year because you're failing. So it's a win-win because Lucy is going to be helping you. Thank you.
We're a reliable company which brings our customized ideas to life using 2D and 3D animation, logo designs, and character designs. The problem. You know, nowadays, people usually charge stuff like that for over 50K, 100K, going up to 1 million, especially adverts. We would only charge from 10K to 25K, depending on whether the customer wants 2D, 3D, and whether it's animated or still life. Okay, our target customers would be anyone, literally individuals or other companies who would like to pay small. We would also add tutorial lessons on our website to teach other people how we do, and advanced lessons will be paid for. Per month membership will be 3K. How much we would get? Imagine we have 20 customers in a week. In a week, who would pay 15K each. We will be getting 310,000 in that week. 1.2 in that month, and 14.8 in the whole year.
You guys are thinking as entrepreneurs rather than salary earners. I think that's the future of the Nigerian economy, on a personal note. So really, really proud of everyone here. Okay. Now, internally, I'm not going to go into the dynamics of the business model and all that, but internally, things you need to think about, for example, are the great thing about a crowdsourcing idea is that there isn't a lot of internal operations to worry about, really, because the app runs itself. So what you need to do at the beginning, for example, is obviously build the app, market the app, and then manage usage on the app and figure out ways to get more people on the platform. Build the app, you're going to need a team or yourself to build the app. But then internal things you need to worry about, things like IP protection. So when you build the app, how do you ensure that somebody that works with you on the app doesn't go and try to reuse the code or reuse your idea as a variant of your app?
So you need to begin to think about what's the role of technology, right? How can I use technology to create an appealing solution, right, that is locally relevant in that country, right? So you're building your website, you're thinking about, okay, these services that I offer today, maybe I'm going to launch in English-speaking countries first, right? And then the next launch would be in French-speaking countries, right? So you want to be able to create a technology that allows you to easily scale, your solutions to different countries, whether it's an app, it's information on the website, right? And then for products that may not necessarily be technology inclined, right? But if you're going to think of your idea about delivering food, right, groceries to customers outside of Nigeria, what are some of the things that you need to think about in those countries, right?
Always seek to outsource. If you run a service, you don't need to worry about Kekemarwa drivers because it's not the core of your business. The core of your business is to produce food, or to get food produced to people. Logistics is a key part of your business, but it's not what you really do. Do you understand? So if you find people that are really good at that, sign service level agreements with them, which says that you will deliver within this time frame, and you would get this across to my customers within this time frame. That makes more sense because it reduces it reduces the stretch of what you need to get, to worry about as well, when you can get contracts to sort of fix that.